Good morning, and welcome to Wake Up with the Early Nerd Live, the Saturday game recap. I'm your host, Steve, the Early Nerd, and as always, I'm talking quietly because if we wake up Mrs. Early Nerd, then we're all in trouble. Oh, sorry, y'all. I haven't been on my show for the past week and a half or so. Still experiencing the technical difficulties with the computer, but all of those issues will soon be resolved. For those of you tech nerds out there that are interested in my technical saga, um, my my repair guys coming by tomorrow and bringing new parts, and hopefully I'll have that new computer of mine back up and running tomorrow. And then it'll be business as usual here at the Early Nerd, and that'll be good. I think so anyway. So, good morning. We're here. We're live. Uh, y'all didn't really miss much last week anyway, and I'm going to talk about it. Um, so for those of you vested in the story, the main meat of the story is going to be it happened last night and not yesterday. In answer to the trivia question for the 100 XP, if for those of you that are interested, Come to Ogre Battle Fight is a Queen song called Ogre Battle, which I did open the fight by playing. Um, so when we last left off last week, the walls of the fortress came tumbling down like the walls of Jericho, and there were 34 ogres coming back. Well, they attacked, and we fought them. It was a good hard fight. A lot of us got hurt. I ended up expending my last charge in my wand of lightning, and of course, as per the rules, it crumbles to dust. I really shouldn't have done that, but come on, people, 34 ogres, and I'm only level 3. I need to, we needed to hit them as hard as we possibly could and as fast as we could. So I went ahead and I did that. And it crumbled to dust. We managed to successfully defeat the ogres fairly quickly, I might add. And then we decided to travel back to town, which we did. And those of us that could level did. I did not. I didn't have enough to level yet. I don't even have enough money to level either. But we went back to town. We leveled. We resupplied. And little itch there. And when we got back to town, Orgnention had told us about a missing team, a missing group. They had gone into a cave that was a couple of days outside of town, and he wanted us to go look for them and either bring them back alive or bring back bodies. And so, of course, we accepted the job because that's what any good adventurers are going to do, right? So we resupplied, we trained. Uh, he, for those of you wondering how, we're on a schedule to go rescue some people. How did we train? Well, Tempus Fugit. Um, for those of you who don't know what that is a spell that allows you to accelerate time. An hour, you can accelerate a day into an hour. Okay. So, or rather, accelerate an hour into a day is what I meant. Well, basically, when you use Tempus Fugit, if you need 7 days to do something, you can get it done in 7 hours. So we were able to leave the next morning. Everybody that could, was leveled and everything. Um, I bought some spells. Um, I got 3 second level spells. I got web. I've got mirror image, and I've got invisibility. Now we go into the cave, uh, and this is a very large cave, very very big. The first thing we encounter is a bunch of ghouls. Uh, this all occurred last week, by the way. Um, we encountered a bunch of ghouls, and we were fighting the ghouls. We tried to turn. We turned some, not very many, but we turned some. Our cleric did, and they go running off. So we managed to defeat those ghouls. Um, a few of us were already paralyzed by the end of that fight, and then the ghouls came back with more ghouls, and so we were fighting them, and one of our fighters hit one of them and did a decent amount of damage, you know, but it didn't kill it. And audibly I said, "Oh, great!" And our DM looked at me and so we have a rule, real quick. We have a rule about player knowledge, because all of us have been playing for so long, we know things, you know, and so, but we're not supposed to use our own knowledge for our character, okay? Because our characters have never seen these things before, so we don't know, And I'm not now, I mean, that's a good way to play, I think. Um, but so basically, Ingo looked at me and he was like, "Okay, shut your mouth." And I said, "I am. I'm not saying a word." And well, it turns out the 6 additional ghouls were ghasts. All of us got paralyzed except for our cleric and one of our fighters. They managed to successfully kill all the rest of the ghouls and the ghasts. I was paralyzed. The other two fighters were paralyzed. The ranger got paralyzed, and the monk got paralyzed. That's how I knew they were ghouls for sure, because our ranger's an elf and he got their ghasts. Our ranger got paralyzed and he was an elf. That's how I knew for sure. So that fight ended last week. Now, last night, we continued through the cave, and yeah, we continued through the cave, and we got into a much larger uh, room, and some big white lizards that weren't lizards. Basically, we were attacked by four white dragons. Okay, they were 30 feet long, and they looked exactly like white dragons, and they all breathed, and we take very little damage. And I'm going, what? So immediately I'm thinking hatchling, and I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna get we're fighting four hatchling white dragons. Um, but then we're hitting them, but we're not doing large damage. Now, for those of you that are, for those Sorry about that. Well, one of my dogs had crawled up under Mrs. Early Nerd's desk and shut off the internet. My apologies to all of you for that long pause. I do hope that you stick around through it to hear the rest of the story. Uh, Now, where was I? Oh yeah. Okay. Uh, so in first edition, there's two damage types. You have small, medium damage, which is one die. Excuse me, small to medium sized creature damage, which is one die. Then you have large damage dice for large creatures. Now, something that is 30 feet long is obviously a large creature, but we're doing small, medium damage to it, and immediately clicked as to what they were. And and of course, again, I couldn't say anything, but I knew what they were. And so we finished fighting what we think are white dragons. It turns out they were ice lizards. For those of you with a fiend folio, you can look them up. They can polymorph into white dragons. They already have a breath weapon. But they don't do a whole lot of damage. I think they're only two, maybe three hit die creatures, so they're not that difficult. But they're pretty fun. And and then we defeat the ice lizards. We get their treasure, which was pretty good actually. They had some nice stuff. I didn't write any of it down. I'm sorry. I'll give an updated treasure list probably next week. Um, we moved on to further into the cave, and we encountered four men. They look like bandits, uh, dressed in furs and with eye patches. Uh, those of you who don't know what those are, they're frostmen. They are in the Fiend Folio as well. Fiend Folio is such an awesome book. There's so many really, really cool things in that book that you can use as a DM to beat the crap out of your players with, and Ingo beat the crap out of us with them. The eye patch is a is an interesting thing. They lift the eye patch and they have a frost beam that comes out of their eye, and it does damage. I've never used those things before, but Ingo used them last night, and they were fun. Um, then we searched their area. We found their treasure, some coinage, some stuff, uh, and by now we're pretty beat up. Um, all of us are pretty beat up, including me. So we decided to camp back a room because we noticed that it's getting colder in here. I mean, obviously colder. It's like the room previous where we fought the ice lizards was, oh, I don't know, like the way he described it, the first room is like 70 degrees, the second room is like 50 degrees, right? So we grabbed the after we killed the frostmen, we grabbed their firewood and their bedding that they had, and we go back to the more comfortable room, and we camped out, uh, healed up, camped again, healed up, and then moved forward. we're out of heal potions now. We don't have any. We drank our last ones in the ice lizard fight. Yes, the ice lizard fight. So we continue forward, and it's getting colder and colder in the cave. We come to two huge metal doors that our ranger uh, opens, and inside is winter wolves, and they attack, and we I went down. The cleric went down. I was down pretty much most of the fight. I went down early, like round 2, I think it was. I went down. Um, then we managed to kill the wolves, and the winter wolves. Remember, winter wolves, they have a breath weapon as well, cold. And then we go back to the warm room, and we camp again to heal up as much as possible for what we think is probably going to be the end fight next week. Excuse me. Now, in the ice lizard room, there was a ledge that ran all the way around the top, and our monk had drank a growth potion to make himself big. Now, despite popular belief, at least this is the way we we didn't know. You drink a potion of growth, you get all big, right? Well, once you get that size, you assume that strength, but you don't. It just makes you big. Nothing else happens. So the monk had taken a potion of growth, and he was looking around up on that ledge. This is in the ice lizard room. I just remembered. We found a long sword. We found 5 javelins. We found a scroll case. We found. Oh, let me think. Keep searching. I'll find it. We found some leather armor. What else did we find? I can't remember what else, but I thought we found like one more item, but I can't remember what it is now. So we took the time to identify everything except for the leather armor, because none of us are thieves, so none of us are going to wear it. The javelins are javelins of lightning. The monk took those. The sword, the long sword, is a frost brand. Yay. Nice sword. +3 against everything, +6 against any fire-using creature. That's what it does. It also protects you from fire. While you're holding it, you get an automatic half damage on any fire save. And if you make your save, I think it's no damage. I'd have to look, but I think it's no damage. The scroll turned out to be, I didn't have to identify that. I just had to wait till the next day and cast a read magic. But the scroll turned out to be Fire Shield. which I'm going to hang on to. I don't have enough hit points right now to make its use worthwhile. At most, once it returns the double damage, the most anything is going to get back is 30, because I've only got 15 hit points. So that's something I need to save for later, which I will. And I can't remember what else we found. So having killed all the winter wolves, we looked around the room real quick with our lamps, and we saw another set of metal doors, double metal doors on the other side of the cavern. Now these doors are huge, so no telling what's behind that door. I have my suspicions, but again, that's player knowledge. It's not character knowledge. My character doesn't know these things, so I am not going to speculate here or anywhere else as to what might be behind those doors. But I am hoping that it's an end fight, because we are very low on resources, and and so hopefully this will be the end. But that's where we're at in this story. We have gone back to the warmer chamber, and we camped again, healed up as much as possible, and because we are on a time schedule, we are, and already we've been in that cave for 8 days due to resting and recuperating and everything else. So we'll see what happens next week. So I hope you've enjoyed the story, minus the little hiccup of the losing of the internet. I apologize for that. But it does kind of happen. My dogs do have a habit of getting up under Mrs. Early Nerd's desk. This happens, kind of frequently. So, but I do apologize for that, and I do hope that you've stuck around to the end of the show. If you have, thank you. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy what I'm doing here. I'm going to probably just do the Sunday show until I can get back into the swing of things. There will not be a show tomorrow. Well, there might be. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, but remember, always remember, wherever it is you're going on this fine, hot Sunday morning, welcome to summer. Be safe, be careful out there, and always remember, the Early Nerd loves you. We'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye now.